In the middle of the afternoon, in this wealthy Los Angeles suburb, inside this home, celebrity stylist Fabio Sementelli would take his last breath.
Murdered in cold blood, that was horrible. Evil beyond comprehension.
A brutal murder that shocked those closest to the man who seemed to have it all. A senseless killing that left his family in shambles.
We miss him dearly because, like Beth said, he was the glue to our family.
A father, husband, and beloved businessman with A-list clients. Stabbed to death while sitting defenseless on his own back patio. A crime that would land his wife of nearly 20 years here, in front of a Los Angeles jury, a defendant charged with the murder of the man she professed to love.
You're going to hear about the senseless slaughter of a thoroughly innocent and decent human being.
True Crime News was inside the courtroom as prosecutors lay out a story of lust, greed, and betrayal.
She stood to inherit a great deal of money through Fabio's insurance policy, his stock options.
With Monica Sementilli standing trial for being the mastermind in her husband's death. A cold-blooded murder that was discovered by the couple's 16-year-old daughter. The shocking 911 call played in open court as Monica sobbed. In a case that would reveal a secret love affair that drove a man to kill.
I murdered him because I wanted her.
Well, you kind of had her already, but not the way you wanted, or what?
Absolutely. I didn't have her the way I wanted her. I wanted to have easier access. I wanted her to be around me and with me.
Hey everybody, Fab here for Fab Style Fridays.
To those who loved him, 49-year-old Fabio Sementilli was the kind of guy who loved big.
He was a very bold, amazing brother.
He met his wife Monica in his native Canada, where he worked as a hairdresser with his sister.
He had this incredible ability to communicate with our young kids and our older folks too. You know, he always showed
us laugh.
Yeah.
To those on the outside, it seemed like a perfect marriage. Two people who were very much in love. But Monica had secrets that she kept from everyone.
You're going to learn about her lies and deception, and hear about her manipulation of her family.
Deception about a torrid affair the married mother of two was having with a man who was her racquetball instructor at a local gym, Robert Baker. A registered sex offender and former porn actor who found his way into Monica's arms. Prosecutors saying the secret lovers were swingers and would send each other nude selfies.
So she and Baker decided that Fabio was getting in the way of their future plans to be together.
And prosecutors allege that they wanted Fabio out of the way, and it led to this. A neighbor's security camera showing Robert Baker and an accomplice running toward the Sementilli home, where they would stab and kill the successful stylist while he was working from home, alone. A plan, they say, was cooked up by his own wife.
You see the defendant seated over here, Monica Sementilli?
Yes.
But on the stand, the man who said that he was the one guilty of killing Fabio, saying prosecutors have it all wrong, that he did it out of jealousy.
You knew her well at the time of the murder, is that right?
Yes.
Is it fair to say you were in a romantic or sexual relationship with her?
Yes. You can say that.
Was that true?
Yes.
Did she have anything to do with the planning or the execution of the plan to kill Fabio Sementilli?
No.
You're sure?
I'm positive.
At first, detectives were operating on the theory that this was a robbery gone wrong. There had been a string of robberies in upscale homes in the neighborhood, but things here didn't quite add up.
There was blood all over the kitchen. As I was walking in, I noticed it on the floor, on the walls, on the door, and it smelled like vinegar.
And what's the first thing you did?
I didn't even go outside. I just called 911 right away. I just dropped my stuff, and then I went outside after.
The killers attempted to clean up the crime scene with vinegar. Fabio was wearing an $8,000 Rolex that was left on his wrist. and Isabella Sementilli testified that her mother sent her on an errand that would keep her away from the home just a little bit longer than normal.
Your mom actually called you and sent you on a detour. Instead of going straight home, you now went at 4:24. You were told by your mom to go to the eye doctor, and that delayed you getting home a little bit.
Yes.
Investigators would trace DNA at the bloody crime scene to Robert Baker, who cut his hand while stabbing Fabio, leaving blood inside the home and inside Fabio's Porsche, seen here being stolen from the home minutes after the murder. Investigators narrow in on Baker and track the lovebirds spending time together after the murder.
Your mom started going out a lot, right?
Sure.
Well, is that true?
Yeah.
And you're in a situation, you were 16 at the time?
Yes.
You're being left home alone sometimes?
Yes.
And were you scared being in the house?
Yes.
Why were you scared?
Because there were 2 killers that were not caught yet, and I was scared they were going to come back.
Did you tell your mom that?
Yes.
On the witness stand, the Sementilli sisters, Isabella and Jessica, say they were not aware of the affair, but both insist that their mother didn't kill their father, pointing to happy moments like these to show their relationship was strong.
My mother and father were the epitome of what a loving marriage was, and what I strive to look for in a partner.
But investigators say the closer they looked, the more they saw something very different.
Numerous messages between them on the afternoon as well of January 23rd of 2017.
Robert and Monica were allegedly communicating via an encrypted app called Viber leading up to the day Fabio was killed. Prosecutors saying that Monica was watching her home security system on her phone and alerting Robert that the coast was clear.
Now I want to show you the evidence of the defendant's alternate life after her husband's murder, which she was keeping secret from her family and friends. You're going to learn, as I told you, that she's the master of deception.
And they say their relationship continued after the murders, a lifestyle that didn't fit that of someone who tragically lost her husband.
She presented herself as a grieving wife and mom, but as you can see here, it was all an act.
Even inviting Robert Baker to a memorial gathering at the Sementilli home. Robert Baker sitting next to Monica, inches from where her husband was murdered.
How does Baker wind up getting invited to this?
6 months after Fabio was killed, Robert Baker and Monica Sementilli were arrested and charged with murder. Robert Baker pleaded no contest and was sentenced to life in prison without parole. He says it was all him, that Monica had nothing to do with it. The prosecutors say she was not only involved, she called the shots.
I remember I went to go visit, and she walked by and they talked.
And investigators say this man tied the whole scheme together. Christopher Austin, arrested last year, 7 years after the murder. In an interrogation video obtained exclusively by True Crime News, he said he was the other man seen running into the Sementilli home.
When he said we're going to go rough her dude up, how did he know when to go? Was he talking to her?
I believe so.
Were you present when he was talking to her? So what makes you believe that?
He would tell me.
Say what? Like what?
She said she's in the house. She said he's in the house.
Pointing the finger directly at Monica Sementilli.
Told him Baker and the woman he was messing with was involved.
The woman he was messing with, do you see her in court?
Yes.
Can you please identify where she's sitting and what she's wearing?
To my far right, white blouse, gray suit.
In an effort to clear Monica's name, the defense called Robert Baker, who insisted that she wasn't involved, that he recruited a family friend, Christopher Austin, to help.
You did kill Fabio Sementilli, is that correct?
Yes.
And did you do so with a second individual?
Yes, he went with me.
Okay. And is his name Christopher Austin?
Yes.
Baker then became combative when challenged by prosecutors about Monica's involvement.
Recognize this?
I recognize me and her.
Sitting together,
Yeah.
right next to where Fabio was slaughtered? Is that the same area?
It's this patio. It's the same patio.
Is it actually sitting right next to where you slaughtered Fabio Sementilli?
Where I killed him, yes.
And under questioning, why the secret couple were texting on a secret app.
You also said that you and the defendant communicated through a texting app, correct?
Correct.
But you said you didn't use it for secrecy.
No, I didn't.
So why is it then that the night of the murder, you deleted the application and all the relevant data regarding Viber from your phone?
Viber was glitchy. It was very glitchy.
So it's just a total coincidence that that night after the murder, you took the time to do that.
It was glitchy. Got rid of the app.
But it was Monica's own words that would be the bombshell against her.
On the next page, the defendant said to you, she's whispering and she says, "Hey, the cameras." And you said, "I know, but I'll take the blame. I'll lie."
Monica Sementilli was described by her friends as someone who had it all, a loving home with 2 children and a successful husband. But the murder of her husband exposed her secret life with Robert Baker.
You can see her own words written in lipstick.
A life where prosecutors say she desired to be with Baker forever, writing Ms. Baker on a mirror. In letters, prosecutors say laying their plan to kill Fabio, Robert as the killer, Monica calling the shots.
And you have a conversation with Monica
I had some type of communication with her.
where you then told her, "We're good. I got a guy to help me to be the lookout," right?
You're trying to feed this jury some crap. No.
And with the man who admitted to killing Fabio on the witness stand.
And then the defendant said to you in a whisper, "I'm so scared."
Prosecutors read back Monica's own words, recorded by cameras after the lovers were arrested together in a court jail cell. A moment where they say Baker agreed to take the blame.
My lawyer said the same thing. He thinks you're gonna make a deal. And you said, "Babe, I'm not making no deal. I'll take it to my grave, baby." Remember that?
I gotta hear it.
And then she said, "Me too." Remember that?
No, I don't. Like I said, I need to hear it.
And then you said, "I love you. I'll take the blame before anything." Remember saying that in the locker right here.
After 8 years, hundreds of pieces of evidence, and 42 days of testimony, a jury would have the final say. Was Monica behind the killing of her husband, or was her jealous lover to blame?
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Monica Sementelli, guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony as charged in count 1 of the indictment. We further find the murder to be of the first degree. We further find the allegation that the murder of Fabio Sementelli was intentional and carried out by the defendant, Monica Sementelli.
With tears in her eyes as the jury's verdict is read, Monica thinks of her life behind bars, far from the life she hoped she would have with Baker by killing her husband.
Justice was served today. It's the most beautiful day for our family. Our spirits are lifted. My brother can now rest in peace. And the murderers that have deceived him are exactly where they belong today.
Outside the court, Fabio's sisters have one last message for the woman who killed their brother over money and a life with a former porn actor and sex offender.
Throughout the trial, we've come to learn how badly she didn't want the last name. And it was very painful to hear. And if she doesn't want it, we'll be more than happy to take it back. She's an embarrassment to our family.
Embarrassment.
And we can never forgive what she's done.